Very good evening. Welcome back to the James Wells Show. Talk Radio and Talk TV together. Unleashed tonight. If you're easily offended and easily upset, this isn't the show for you. Lizzie, what?
I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, good, fine.
Shouldn't be
Lizzie has joined us again. A lot of people saying, why you still allow her on the programme.
I bring you fans.
No, what you do is you get us in the paper and people be rude about us every single week.
I do nightgown. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
But
there's a nice.
And I brought you hair conditioner.
A nice one, yeah.
I have appointed you now my chief political commentator.
Thank you.
I don't want you talking about the royal family. I don't want you besmirching them.
Talk about that.
I've got lots on her today, but I won't talk.
You haven't at all. You just listen to hearsay. And we also have Dillon Parsons over here. Dillon, welcome to you.
Thank you for having me.
It's all right, Dillon. Did you get to make up or not?
Do
they not do any makeup on Dillon? I mean, you seem to have taken most of it.
How dare you? I'm a natural beauty.
Yeah. Now, Dillon is... Oh, my gosh. Dillon is an animal rebellion activist. And the reason we're talking about this tonight is apparently you have to stop eating meat if you want sex.
You're not going to glue yourself to Lizzie, are you?
No, he won't, because if he's got any glue, I will deal with him myself.
Stick yourself to James.
You know what happens if I deal with people, so I suggest you don't. The fact is that this is the most ridiculous... Why are you guys now, and the other people, of course, who are promoting this, we had a guy on the other day who said milk is racist. Why are you making yourselves out to be so stupid? Because, you know, a lot of people... I prefer animals to human beings. I like the taste of some of them. I like my dogs. Some people in your position don't think people should have pets, I know. Are you one of those, by the way?
Well, I mean, first of all, thanks for having me
No, you said
here,
that. Don't thank me, because it might go ugly if you do that.
But also, I had no idea about what you're about to ask me. Anyway, I've been told you're here to talk about protests. But, yeah, so in Animal Rebellion...
questions I ask you. That's what you're here for.
In Animal Rebellion, we are demanding that the government support farming and fishing communities
in
an immediate transition to a plant-based food system. And then that land which is freed up, which would be 50% of British land, will then be used for rewilding and restoring nature back to the UK how it was.
Right, I know you're nervous. I can hear from your voice. So let me just repeat that so we know. So what you want to do is you want to change farming in this country and presumably eventually around the world. So we don't farm animals, we farm vegetables and what?
Well, we're demanding that the government transition to a plant-based future, which...
But those are vegetables, aren't they?
Yeah, that's vegetables.
Yeah, vegetables, yeah.
So farmers are out of a job.
No, they've got to grow them.
I'll just grow the veg.
They've got to grow
cows will be out
the way the government are treating farmers right now, I mean, we've seen reports at the moment, just only a couple of hours ago, that the government are looking at removing all environmental subsidies for farmers, so they are already struggling a lot more. We are demanding that... That's
fake news. That they haven't said that. But I don't want to talk about that at the moment. I want to talk about what you want to talk about. You've come in here to talk about this stopping people eating meat. Now, why? That's fine if that's what you believe. One of the big problems I have at the moment, and I'm going to break this news in a moment. This is news which you're going to enjoy. I'll do it in a minute about issues around green issues. But what you want to do is you want to stop us eating meat, not just because of the environment, because of our health, I presume.
I mean, I'm not here to talk about health. I'm here to talk about the climate crisis.
Okay, fine.
So,
well, there is. I mean, a lot of people say there is no climate crisis, and you've just manufactured one for your own ends.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to disagree with what the majority of scientists are saying.
Well, that's what we do in a free country.
That's
Are we allowed to disagree? Because I could bring you loads of scientists who will tell you a lot of these scientists who say we're heading for destruction of the planet and everything else like that is complete rubbish.
I mean, if you look at reports like the IPCC report, where 234 scientists wrote this report taken from 40,000 studies. These are the majority of scientists.
Doesn't make any difference, my friend, because what happens is science changes as we progress. So let's not argue about that. You've got your point of view, I've got mine, so leave it there. What you want to do is force everybody to agree with you. But that is not democratic. So how are you going to do that?
I mean, to talk about democracy, I think everyone in the government in power right now has not been elected by the general public. So I think there's a huge problem.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for... When was the last time we got a general election?
You didn't vote, did you?
I did vote.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I did
vote. But are you so stupid you can't remember who you voted for?
You must remember who you voted for.
You voted for Boris, didn't you?
No.
Did you vote for Boris? Oh, well done. Well done.
You voted for Boris?
Well done. Good
When
man.
did I say...
Did you vote for Boris? Well done. No, you know, and Boris's wife...
This is ridiculous.
Boris's
She's a vegetarian.
Vegetarian and a big green supporter, which I've had words with Boris and told him it's not a good idea.
If you want to look at the cost of living crisis or COVID, we know that the government do not know how to respond to the crises at the moment. And the
totally
climate
stupid?
crisis is another example of
they
that right now.
responded to the COVID virus better than most of the nations on the planet. They did a better
First
job.
to roll the vaccine out, they were very good.
They did very well. What are they not doing that you would like them to do as far as the climate crisis? There isn't a climate crisis. There is a crisis of us not being good enough to the planet. We throw litter away all over the place. I hate it. We pollute. We do all this sort of rubbish. And I mean, you haven't even
We all
watched
eat
it from on the show
vegetables, there'll be
tonight,
loads of methane, won't there?
Yeah.
That's not
Can I ask a question? How do you protest? Because I'm very upset with those that stick their hands to the motorway. Because my friend was trying to get to her hospital appointment to have chemotherapy and couldn't get there on the M25. And literally, I thought, do you realise that what you're doing? You're actually
killing some people.
I mean, you're referring to the protest group Insulate Britain.
Well, I'm asking how you protest.
In Animal Rebellion, in the last recent months, we have been shutting down the supply of dairy, as we know.
Yeah.
That is one of the
haven't
key
seen any of
contributors
that.
to
You
the
threw
climate
milk on the
crisis.
floor of Harrods.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't you, was it?
Yeah, you
No,
threw
not me
milk.
personally, no.
No. And some of you guys stuck your hands to the walls outside the building here.
That also wasn't Animal
Wasn't it? Oh,
Rebellion.
right. Well, I thought you were all linked together. I thought you all had
You stay safely at home when you tell them to go and do
I
it while
think
you
the
sit in
common
your
theme
armchair.
is we all know that we're heading towards a terrible future right now, and we all want a much better future, which transitioning to a plant-based future gives every single person on this planet a much better chance of surviving
But can
and
I ask you
thriving.
something? Throwing milk all over Harrods, do you not think that's like thuggery? I mean, what is the point, apart from making an awful mess and embarrassing yourselves?
Did she say,
Why?
are we hitting more buggery? Is that what she said?
Thuggery.
Oh,
Thug.
thuggery, right? Thuggery. Sorry.
Thuggery.
Yeah, good.
In Harrods.
Yeah, it was in Harrods. Do all the
Yeah.
milk.
Okay, let's get to the point. Okay, now I'm going to reveal something that you might not like tonight. I didn't know we were doing this. I was going to do it later. The reason that nobody is getting overly upset about the cost of fuel, petrol and diesel, we can't get. Heating your homes is getting more and more expensive.
We are upset.
And do you know why? Because it's actually playing into these guys' thing. It's stopping us driving. It's stopping us heating our homes, and it's actually polluting the country
Milk's
a lot
gone
less.
Up, milk's gone up a lot as well.
And
actually, yeah.
and during the
Harrods it has.
lockdown,
Yeah.
okay, the state of the air and everything else got a lot better. So I think that probably had something to do with it as well. So, you know, I don't know what
You've
you're
won
complaining
it.
about.
In a way, you've won.
Because you're complaining
What
about.
about genetically engineered meat, so you could actually grow meat?
I mean, there are options like precision fermentation, which are like what scientists are proving right now is a great alternative to transitioning.
You
to
could
plant-based
genetically
future.
engineer a plant and a bit of a cow and grow steak.
I mean, I don't know much about the science there.
That's the
Well, I thought you did. You
Yeah.
just quoted to me how
I
many
mean,
scientists there were.
I've been listening to the scientists on the
Yeah.
IPCC
Grow the
that
meat.
are telling us that we are in a climate emergency.
Yeah, well, they're telling you that because scientists have their
They're
points of
trying
view,
to
but then
frighten
they
you,
all.
man. Don't be
yeah.
scared, then.
What are you going to do then?
have
Because
to be
nobody's going to
transition
listen
to
to
a plant-based
you.
future.
Nobody's going to do this. The farmers aren't going to listen to you. They're very annoyed with you, as you probably know. So, what are you actually going to do? How are you going to achieve this? What are you going to do?
I mean, actually, we've had people in Animal Rebellion going to farming events and speaking to farmers about the transitions there, and I've heard a lot of really good responses there.
Like what?
I wasn't there, so I don't know the full responses.
Well, you're
but
not very good at answering
there was a
questions,
lot
are you?
there.
If you don't go there, you don't know the answer to the question. Come on.
Farmers
You know,
won't listen
shouldn't
to
you come on a
Farmers
program
won't,
like
let's be
this
honest,
and say,
Farmers are very...
farmers don't like you?
They're
I've
very
done
set
some.
in their ways,
Hang on,
farmers.
I've done some research. I phoned some farms today. I said, have you had any problem with these morons? And
You
they
told
said,
me you didn't read the notes before you came on.
oh,
the
this
show.
is something. I do 4 or 5 shows. I'm not for this. I've done loads of shows. Honestly, you are a bit of an idiot. And you put yourself into a position like this, you're just going to make people think, these guys don't know what the friggin' hell they're talking about. And I'm being nice to you tonight. Trust me.
Yeah.
I actually don't know why you have I mean, I don't know, you've been brainwashed, I don't know what's gone on, but you are not going to get any of us to stop eating meat. This whole ridiculous thing saying meat-eating men sex banned by vegans. I mean, that'll grab headlines, but it's not going to make anybody listen to what you
I
have
know
to say.
nothing about this before you asked me about
Well,
it.
you
No.
said, I haven't read anything, I hadn't, and I looked down here and it says Dillon Parsons talking about meat-eating men and sex ban.
You must know about
No, I
this.
know nothing about it.
Lizzie Coney and the
Honestly.
bum lift denying it all.
But it's
hang on.
men, 41%. So
Just
it's
a
all
minute.
women the rest.
Ted, you booked a guest here. You said they were going to talk about sex.
It's a whole sham, this
Honestly,
This whole thing's been...
about veganism.
Yeah.
Do you know about veganism?
Ted texted me to talk about protests. I know.
Oh, you went
nothing
to
about that.
school with Ted?
Oh, did you go to school
It's
with
his
Ted?
schoolmate.
Texted me. I said,
They shared a
no.
bunk.
What?
He shared a bunk.
Look, I've
with
got
Ted.
these in my ear. I can't hear a thing. Can you tell me about the next protest then? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so on the 8th of October, we are asking for thousands of people to come to the streets of London to create an act of mass civil resistance. You're more than welcome to join. I'd love to see you guys there.
But how will you know which
what are we going to do when we get there? Actually, we might go.
Should we wear a yellow T-shirt? Because thousands of people come anyway to the streets of London.
The 8th, what day is the 8th? We might be working.
8th of October.
Well, what are you doing
in
exactly?
Green Park, 11 o'clock.
In the morning?
I'm not... Yeah, in the morning.
Oh,
we don't go.
What do you do? 11 in the morning.
Well, you can maybe meet us later.
You can't do a meeting
Ash
at 11
won't be
in
up.
the
He
morning.
gets up at 11 p.m.
Hang on, it's a Tuesday.
Well, what are you actually doing with the protest?
I don't know the exact specifics
Saturday,
right now, but we're going to be taking, mass civil resistance and putting pressure on the government to
and how are you going to do that? And so if they come like the morons from the other Extinction
Rebellion... There's no one going to be there at 11 in the morning.
No, we won't be there at 11 in the morning. And what are you going to do? You're going to... Yeah, what are you going to do? And if you try and get in my way and stop me, right,
because he goes jogging
I get very annoyed and I hurt you, I'm going to be in trouble, and that will be your fault, and I'm an old man, so why should I end up in prison because you're a moronic twit?
Be for the court to decide.
You're going to stop traffic and make people's lives a bit of a
Well, if you step in front of my car, I might accidentally run over your feet. Well, we go in the car, we do the run.
He runs alongside the car. I've got a megaphone.
All I'm doing, listen, I didn't know you... Listen, you don't want to talk about sex. Probably your age, you're not really getting any. But probably what you are going to do is try and get all your mates, and it hasn't worked for a while, to cause massive disruption when people have got things they want to do on a Saturday. And I'm telling you right now that I will talk, and am talking, to the commander of the police. And if the police don't use some heavy-handed tactics and use these morons to be moved out of the way, there will be trouble, because I will send Ash down there. And if I send this man down there, there won't be any demonstration. Bless you, my son.
Has it been cleared with the authorities?
He doesn't know.
I don't believe so. But I think this is very urgent, action that we need to be taking. When the former scientific advisor to the UK government has said we have 2 to 3 years left to determine the future of humanity.
But you're stopping people from getting to their appointments, to getting on with life. You don't care about that?
I fully understand that, but the disruption that we're going to be facing is going to be so much worse. I mean, in the UK alone, we saw when we hit 40 degrees in the UK, which is absolutely crazy. We saw 60 homes burn down and have people displaced there.
You are an idiot. You're ignorant. You're stupid. And don't ever come near me again. Thank you very much. Go. Take him out. I've had enough of him.